I went to Teachers College, started in '99, finished in April of 2000. It was 1 year in Windsor. I lived on California Avenue, and then in walking back and forth to school, I'd go up California, zigzag, Sunset, and I had met one guy in my class. He was similar interests. He was a good guy, ball player, but he was a local guy. He's from Windsor. Everybody called him Butch. And Butch lived with these two other guys that were landscapers, Bertie, and they called the other guy the Badger. But that time I had just come back to Windsor from being home for the Christmas holidays, and it was the year that Windsor had a ton of snow. And it was pretty much on lockdown, and these guys were, they had a couple little silly little decorations up for Christmas, and this was a student house on a row of a bunch of student houses, and I had made it back on the Sunday night. I had class on the Monday morning. And I wake up on the Monday morning, I'm walking, down California, hit Sunset, walk down, get to my buddy Butch's house. And the routine for me was just to knock on the door, open it up, and then we'd grab him, we'd go go to school for class. And so when I walked up to his front door, where I would usually just knock on the glass of the screen door, the glass was gone, and I was knocking on their oak heavy door. And I thought, that's weird, and I could tell that there was glass all around, but didn't really think much of it. Maybe somebody tried to break in when they were at home or whatever. So I knocked, and then I opened the door like I usually do, and when I walked in, their coffee table that was made out of glass had been completely shattered, and the ceiling fan was hanging from the wires. And then Butch comes out of his bedroom, and he's like, "Hey Dave, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, blah, 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 ready to go?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm ready to go, but what's going on here? What happened? Did like somebody break in?" He's like, No. This was last night. Badger and Berchie decided that Christmas was over. And I was like, what's that supposed to mean? And he's like, well, we had this little 3-foot plastic Santa light up thing that was in our corner, and we all came back yesterday. We went out drinking, and we came back from drinking, and we were just sitting around taking it easy, and right out of the blue, Badger says, "Christmas is over, Santa. You gotta go." And he picks him up, and he throws him across the room, and then he chases him down, and he throws him back, and he hits Berchie with it, and then Berchie starts punching this plastic Santa, lays him on the table. One of them gets up on the couch, jumps up, elbow drop, through the glass table. Then they start wrestling with each other, go through the front door, hit the window, break the glass, pretty much pancake this Santa, and they're like, we gotta finish him. And these guys' house, he's like, "Come here, come see this." And so I went out through their house. I went to the back door. They used to park, there was an alleyway in the backyard, and they used to park their 3 vehicles in the back. So it was 1, 2, 3 vehicles, a big truck, but you could tell there was all kinds of ruts in the backyard and all kinds of mud, and the fence between their yard and the neighbor's yard was like flopped over. And he said, "Yeah," he goes, "I heard these guys last night. I was in my room, and then I was watching, and then I know they went out, and I went out to look, and I watched them, and I saw the truck back out of the driveway, down the alleyway, where I could only see the lights, but I couldn't see the truck anymore. And then I saw Badger tee up Santa Claus like Lucy holding the football in Charlie Brown. And he's holding the Santa Claus to get hit by the truck. And this truck comes flying in, slides right through in the mud, because it was still kind of mild. There was lots of snow, but it was pretty muddy under there. Slides through the mud, hits the Santa. Berchie jumps out of the way, doesn't get hit by the truck. Santa gets wedged up between the tire and the wheel well, and the truck goes through the fence into the neighbor's yard. He puts on his hazard lights, he gets out, and he starts looking around. He says, "What are we going to do?" And Berchie says to him, "Well, we got to get rid of Santa." He's like, "Yeah, we do. We got to move the truck and Santa." So they wedge Santa out. They throw him in the back of the pickup truck. They back the pickup truck a little bit, and then he breaks branches off old Christmas trees in the alleyway that people were throwing out, and he starts covering the tire tracks, or trying to at least, doing a job of it for sure, because it looked like there was a war that happened the night before. He goes, then they both got in the truck, turned off the hazard lights, and that was the last I saw of them. I went back in my room, went to bed, didn't clean up anything because it was these guys, it wasn't me. He goes, and yeah, that's what I know. And he's explaining this all to me as we're walking to school. And we cross, one of the main streets, we get onto campus, and then we I don't really think much of it, but I see, oh yeah, some idiot drove across the front yard of the school or whatever. And then we walk a little bit more, and there's like clearly a donut had been ripped. And we look at one of the very main buildings up on the top stairs right by the big front door. This is maybe 10 to 8 in the morning. A beat up, squished, beat to shit Santa Claus left on the front step of one of the main buildings at Windsor University. That was Christmas is over, Santa. You gots to go.